I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I have traveled the world over, but never found a peace that comes from watching my fishes as they swim about their home. My heart is happy and I am content to sit and watch them swim. I will not be alone while these fishies are in my home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.
Well, hello. How are you all? Nice to be with you. Really great to be here. Wonderful to be here. I am so excited. And for no other reason than I get to be here with you. And my good friend, Dina.
Hey, Father Fish. It's great to be here.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
You had a wonderful holiday weekend, didn't you?
Oh, it was amazing. Got to see koi fish this big. Got to see swans. Got to stay in nature for a little while. It was a retreat that we all needed.
Where'd you go?
Well, we actually went to Cedar Lake Woods and Garden. It's a privately owned natural botanical garden inside a stone quarry. That they took this stone quarry and just made it something amazing. There's waterfalls, plants from around the world, plants that I had never seen.
Where is this?
Just outside of Gainesville, Florida. Probably about 20 minutes outside of Gainesville, Florida, in the middle of nowhere.
They said there's nothing in Gainesville. Well, that's great. So Dean took you on a 2-day holiday. That's sweet.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, we're here now.
That we are.
Oh, glory. I don't even know what's going on. Let's see who's here. I guess that's as good a place as any to start. William Avery is with us all the time. William's over on Discord. He's holding forth there and helping out and doing everything he can to be as supportive as he can. We Love Gardening from Sydney, Australia is with us. W88KY. Tried to join the Discord, won't let me in. I'm saying, hey, concierge. They'll get you in. They'll get you in. Victor C. Hello, Victor. Joey is here. Hi, Joey. William Armbruster, Adam Armbruster. Hi, Adam. Nice to have you with us. And Polar Bear, Kimco Super 9 Polar Bear. And X-Pup, who needs, it looks to me, let's see who all, we got a bunch of people here.
Yeah, we do.
who need brand new people who
Mhm.
need wrenches. Let's see. Let me start passing out some wrenches here. Get everybody get everybody turn blue. There's that. Who else? Weekly Xbox moderator. Robert Fabiano from Boston. He used to live in Boston.
Oh, that's cool.
I was in college there. I lived for how long? About 4 years, I guess. And then what is this? Oh, Xpuck is from York, the UK. Oh, okay. From the UK. Who else is here? Brad Hansen, Stylish Ninja.
That's a pretty cool name.
Fish in the Wall. I'm not, you notice me. I made a music video called Fish in the Wall on my YouTube channel. We'll post the link, Stylist, so we can get her and listen to it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, nice to have you, William. All right. Is that Dermamy Bell from Dominica? Dominica. Is that now? Is that it's not Dominique? Dominic is in the West Indies. Dominica Republic is the other half of the island that that is shared with Haiti. So I assume you're from Dominica Republic
Mhm.
and not Dominique, which I think is spelled Dominica. I don't know. I
Yeah, I'm not sure.
need to make you a moderator. I've been to both.
That's cool.
Been
You've
diving.
been just about all over the world, haven't you?
No, just to the Caribbean. I've not been to Europe or the Far East. I've been to Canada, Mexico,
Mhm.
and a lot of the islands in the Caribbean, and that really about lets it out. So I'm not well traveled at all. Always wanted to be, somehow never managed to do it, and I'm now too old to do it. It would be too difficult just getting around. I can't do the walking that would be required, so I think I just lost out on that. But I'm in good company because Immanuel Kant, one of the greatest philosophers who ever lived, was born in Berlin, Germany,
Mhm.
and never traveled outside of Berlin his
Oh,
entire
wow.
life.
That is cool.
And one of the greatest minds in history.
Mhm.
So it's not required.
That's it. I love it. Because you've definitely traveled more than I have.
Well, I've been up and down the East Coast,
Mhm.
and I've never been to California. I've been as far as Hovenweek, which is the Four Corners area, and we went a little beyond that, but never got to Las Vegas. I've been all around the Gulf Coast. Never been to Washington State. Have been in Canada, but East Canada, all the way up Nova Scotia.
Oh,
That was,
wow.
so kind of selective traveling, I guess.
Mhm.
Derma Bell from the Caribbean.
Oh, it looks like we got Adam waiting. I wonder why it quit pinging. Because
They
that should
offered
have
him
been
a
a
train
ping
ticket
sound.
to Paris. He said, I can't. That's right. Right. Garbar said California, one of the most beautiful garbage dumps around. I know, isn't it tragic? Need to tell Sharon Stone traveling doesn't make you smart. Really. So Adam is here.
Mhm.
What is Adam? Oh,
Wow. Beautiful pond.
Oh, look at the pond.
Whoa.
Look at the pond.
Hey, everybody. Hello,
Wow.
hello.
Looking good. Look at this.
I'm trying to make my camera. I'm trying to get my camera to cooperate. I don't know.
You got it?
Okay, so I think it's pond progress because it's not done because of the double hurricanes. We still have some leakage, but this is the bottom. And then if I go this way, we're going to go up the waterfall.
Oh, isn't that impressive?
Yes, it is.
All the way. And then into here. Am I doing this right? Yeah, into there. That's the bog.
Wow. Oh,
That's the. Remember, I showed you guys it was still being built, and it's all bunch of rocks, and now that's a 6-foot bog, 3 feet deep. The whole filter.
is that a fish tank?
It could be.
Huh?
It could be. That's where we're at. We're still working on it. We got a lot more plantings to do. It's supposed to be all plants, so that's why it looks like a lot of rocks right now because a lot of plants are going to be put in here and all around the bottom.
Oh, it's wonderful.
That's,
Adam, you're doing an amazing job on this.
Oh,
Yeah, if you
we're all,
remember, Father Fish, if you remember in Sarasota, you remember Selby Gardens?
yes.
So the guy I know has a friend there, and they're sharing design ideas. Like some of the
Oh, wow.
Like the way
Yeah,
they're doing that, see?
Selby is amazing.
Kind of a natural, style. I told him I want to make it look like it's always been there, but we're working.
Yeah,
So I'd say we're about 2/3 done up. I'll get back to you guys when it's time to put plants and fish in here. Right now, there's just mosquito fish in, so we don't get eaten alive in the summertime.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that's all I just want to share with you guys.
Yeah, definitely glad you did because I've been wondering how your pond was going. It's gonna be stunning when you're finished.
Looking
You
good.
know, it's only taking 5 times longer and 5 times more money than we planned. Otherwise, it's right on target.
Exactly. Right.
That's the way it always goes, isn't it?
Well,
kidding.
you
All right,
consider
guys.
every single one of those rocks has to be brought in from another state.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and these things are like these guys here are like I don't know 300 pounds each.
Right.
Those big guys.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
so we're getting there.
nice.
I'll keep
Good job.
you updated, okay? All right, I'll keep you
Definitely.
updated. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Love you all. Be well. Be well.
Bye. Wow, that's coming along amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty.
Yeah, once he gets it planted, oh,
Whew.
that's gonna be amazing.
What else we got here? Diane Altman's here. Hello, Diane. Christian B. Lloyd Goodyear. We do Victor, Brad Hansen, Redneck Life, Joey, Stylist Ninja, David Fake. Hello, David. Richard Simpson from Youngstown, Ohio. Dermot Mabel from Dominica. Kimco. Fish Found Lake. Oh, dear.
Yep.
France is here from St. Lucia.
Looks like we got Jacob Wade.
Looks like
Think so.
St. Peter Ferguson. Let's see what Jacob's up to. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, how are
Hey.
you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. My jungle valve's over 7 foot, all natural.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
I talked to the guy at the store. He said he could never get it past 6.2, almost like 6 and a quarter, and that was using fertilizer with it. And
Yeah,
I'm all natural.
that's about as big as it. Yeah, it'll keep growing. It's going to keep growing. I've had it 7 foot. Never had it longer than that. So you're going to beat the record.
Yep.
Keep, keep, keep it going.
Wow.
How
And
are
then
you
I got
how are fish doing? You had a die off
they're
last
doing
week.
amazing. I got a new cichlid. He's a keyhole cichlid.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
that's a nice fish. I like keyholes. Yeah, they're one of
I
my
can't
favorites.
wait till he grows up a little bigger.
Yeah, they don't get real big, about 3 inches.
Hmm.
The keyholes?
Yeah, they don't get real big.
Sweet.
Yeah,
So then he'll be perfect size as
yeah,
the platinum snow white that I have.
yeah. He's a perfect size for that tank. Yeah,
Sweet. And then I picked this up the other day. That's like half of a stick right here.
Hmm. It
it
looks good.
looks like a whole stick to me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I mean whole stick, yeah. Yeah, it's doing amazing. I haven't done nothing in over 8 months now, and
Hmm.
look, it's just I don't know. I'm very amazed at it. I'm very happy.
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary, isn't it?
That it
It
is.
is. It's amazing what just little bit of things you just change, and
Yeah,
it can make a tremendous difference in the tank atmosphere.
you bet. Nice to have you here, Jacob. I'm gonna get
Thank
over
you.
see what Dre's up to.
Hmm.
Take care. Bye for
Thank
now.
Bye.
y'all.
Hey, Dre.
What's going on, Father Fish?
How are you?
I'm great. Oh, there I go.
We got you.
We
Oh,
Got
got
yes.
Platy Paradise in here.
Happy paradise with yo-yo.
I got some Green Lantern ones.
Oh, you sure do. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I got
wow.
a hyphen too.
Nice.
Oh, he's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them.
Plenty.
The orange, the red wagtail male is trying to breed with almost every girl in here.
Right. Well, that's all right.
Yeah, I love it. I just like watching them.
They mix it all up.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So what do I have to say here? So my what do you call those now? The brain fart. The
It happens.
anacars, they're growing right across, and that's what they've been doing in both tanks, this and the beta tank. So
The plant, you mean,
the anacars,
the anacris. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's kind of what it does. And
that's what it does.
it doesn't need to be planted. Yeah, if you just if it's a floater, that's
Yeah.
what it's gonna do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it. It looks nice. It looks better than growing straight up.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. And this right here, I forgot what this is called. I think this is a Rotala or Ludwigi or something.
You
Yeah, I
mean
think so.
oh,
But it's growing like green right here and pink up here.
yeah, that's Ludwigia. Sure.
Yeah, and it got like
Look at all
roots.
the roots, all the
Yeah.
coming right off that top. Now you can clip that right there and plant that, and it'll grow up. All those roots will take hold. That's a
I
good
might
that's a good time to trim it.
Okay.
When
It
you
got
see
like
those roots, trim it
yeah.
right there and plant it, and it'll give you a new plant.
Yeah, I could do that. It got like 2 or 3 more plants right there where the roots are growing from the stem.
Yep, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
It'll push out too, so it'll actually be 3 or 4 stems coming up in the same
Okay.
place. So it makes it look a lot bushier.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
Hmm.
I do love it. I
Yeah,
really do.
Take a drink. Love your tank.
All right. Thank you, boss.
Bye-bye.
He's got a gorgeous tank. I love his selection of platies.
One of the wholesalers this week listed on their specials list platies.
Oh,
They
cool.
had over 30 different types of platies listed.
That is cool.
It was so much, it was stupid. It was
Didn't even know there was that many varieties of platies.
stupid platies. I can't even imagine how that happened. They must have bought out some autistic fish keeper or something who just designed one after another after another after another. I mean, it was a 2-page list of platies.
Wow.
And I know why they were on special, because they were trying to get rid of them. Yeah. It's really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy any of them, actually. I was totally disinterested. Who's this? Any fish will do. Thank you so much. Any fish. Very kind of you. A $5 donation. Do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Pie. John Shane. And Peter loves platies. Peter loves platies. There's a title for something.
That would be a good YouTube channel for you to start, Peter.
Peter loves platies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Adam needs a 3G. And 3G says, sorry, Adam, I'm not home. Lloyd Goodyear. Frank F. Hey, Frank. And PP2 says, hello, Father Fish. Fish family, help our community grow. Like this video and hit subscribe. Peter Ferguson. And red-tailed black sharks are toothy. Toothy. Is that what that is? Smiling.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet Polly. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Zach Arnold is here. Hey, Father Fish, love your videos. Yeah, I'm getting a real kick out of people coming into the shop saying, oh, yeah, I can always tell when somebody walks in the door whether they have been on YouTube and followed Father Fish.
Yeah.
Because they'll look at me and their mouth will drop open. And they'll, Father Fish. So I know they've been following videos. And it just happens. I had a guy today come in who was so excited because Father Fish lives less than a mile away.
That's cool.
Where his shop is anyway. It's really fun.
Mm.
And it makes me realize a little bit how much reach this thing has. I mean, it's absolutely global.
Yeah, it is.
I was writing an article recently that's going to be coming out in one of the major fish publications this spring. And we started out by saying you can walk into any fish store anywhere almost in the world. I would not include China in that because China doesn't get YouTube, although Hong Kong does. I've had people in touch from Hong Kong, but not the rest of China.
Mm-hmm.
Almost anywhere in the world where there's a fish store, you can go in there and at some time during the day, somebody is going to get into a discussion about Father Fish.
Yep,
It's absolutely uncanny.
it is.
I hear it all the time. And it makes my heart glow.
Right? It should.
It is such a kick. You know, I look at YouTube today compared to what I was talking to somebody today about this. They were talking about how many people on YouTube are doing dirted tanks. And I said 5 years ago, nobody was. I was the only one. And it just had it's been like a revolution. It's just taken
It has.
And there are people who I was thinking about this too. There are people who grumps who will say, "Well, not the only way to keep fish." Well, duh. Who said it was exactly? I happen to believe it's the best,
Same here.
but that's my opinion.
Mhm.
Am I entitled to my opinion or not?
Absolutely.
Apparently not.
You can't go by idiots.
Funny stuff. Not the only way to keep fish. Yeah, we've seen some other ways to keep fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like my fish in a bare tank with maybe an inch of gravel. I like it like that. I know people who like the weirdest things.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing. It's a
What's
fish.
the weirdest?
The weird. What's the weirdest thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think of things like hamburger cheese, which smells like rotten flesh.
That sounds horrible.
It's the most disgusting thing, you know. But when I was a kid, my grandmother, my father's mother, and my father's father, they were Epicureans. My father's father, particularly, James Blaine. James was probably the most remarkable man I've ever known. He stood about 5'6", weighed about maybe 90 pounds. He had been deaf, totally deaf, since early childhood.
Oh wow.
It was born in, when was he born? He was born in about 1895. And as a young child, he got rheumatic fever and it left him deaf. Now, he was old enough that he had learned how to talk. He was 4 or 5 years old. But he never did talk after that. He was born right down here where I am, on the eastern shore of Maryland, in a little town called Crapo, Crapo. Crapo, it's a spit of land that goes out into the bay, a little village that has, maybe 100 homes, probably not that many, but a graveyard that is 300 years old.
Wow.
With graves going back that far. He was a Foxwell. Anyway, to get to the Epicurean thing, he married a woman who was also deaf. They met at the Maryland School for the Deaf. And right out of high school, they got married, moved to Baltimore, and he got a job working as a printer. They used to teach these kids, deaf kids, how to print.
Mhm.
And he ran a printing press. It was a monster. He showed it to me once. It was the size of this room, a monstrous machine.
That'd be amazing to see.
He ran that printer for 70 years.
Wow.
60 years. For 60 years. He retired at, I think, 75. He could touch the machine and know exactly what it was doing. Now, he was functionally illiterate, really couldn't read and write, but he set type. Letter by letter, he set type. And he never made a mistake. They never caught him on a mistake because he duplicated exactly what was on that sheet of paper.
Yeah.
If it was there, it showed up on the type press, and it was full type, which meant you picked each letter out, put it in place, hammered it down to get it level, put it on the press, and ran it through, and made whatever you were printing. It was a small jobs press. Made cards, letters, stationery, flyers, that kind of thing. It wasn't a big newspaper press. It was a job press, but a big one, an old one mostly. The press was over 100 years old. It was made in the late 1800s. And
That is so cool.
been electrified somewhere along the line. Just remarkable. Anyway, the Epicurean thing. He married a woman who, as a child, grew up at her mother's side in the kitchen. Her mother was a German chef, a German cook, worked as a professional cook. And this little girl, from the time she was a tiny little girl, was with her mother in the kitchen, watching everything she did. She was a master chef.
Oh, I bet so.
And she loved the most exotic foods and made many of them. But the one thing she and her husband, James Blaine, loved the best was hamburger cheese. Stinky, smelly, gross cheese.
Ooh. Yeah, I've never heard of hamburger cheese before.
I got to smell it once. I don't even know where you get it. I mean, it's not anything that ever shows up in a cheese shop.
Right?
But the other thing was interesting about my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
He was solid muscle. He was like wiry little guy, very intense about everything. Very kind of. He was a gentle soul, but extremely intense. And where he was born, there was no dental hygiene. So by the time he was 40, he had lost all his teeth. Now, I say lost. He didn't actually lose them. He actually pulled every single tooth out of his head as it went bad. He would work it and pull it out. Every tooth he pulled out of his head. I cannot even fathom.
I couldn't imagine pulling my own teeth. I've had some people in my family that are older that have done it, but I couldn't imagine doing it myself.
Pulled every tooth out of his head.
That
And
takes
refused,
dedication.
and then refused to get dentures.
Oh no! How did he eat?
He had very hard gums.
Wow.
And my grandmother would cut his meat in very tiny bits. So he didn't have to bite down on them much. But he chewed with his gums.
Wow.
He absolutely did. He could take a piece of rope, like clothesline rope,
Mhm.
wrap it around his head, and he did this and broke it.
Wow. Now that's really strong rope.
Yeah, it is strong rope.
It is. Because my
I
granny
saw
had a clothesline. That stuff is tough.
it's like he cut it or something. It's weird.
Wow.
Amazing man. Amazing man.
Definitely.
When he died 1 year to the day of his wife's death. And he spent that morning traveling around by bus, visiting all of his friends who owed him money and forgiving all the debt.
Wow.
Went to the church and prayed, came home, took out all of his important papers, laid them out on the bed, laid down, and died.
It's like he knew he was going to die.
He decided that's when he was going to die. He made that choice to die. Didn't kill himself, was not sick. He simply had decided that was going to be the last day of his life. And they got everything in order so that when he died, there wouldn't be any difficulty with anything. Laid down and died. Amazing.
Wow, that's impressive.
Amazing. And my father was much like him. I didn't take after either one of them.
Well, it happens.
Olympus. Don't need teeth if the meat melts. There's a song title. That'd be more like a ballad.
Probably, yeah.
You don't need teeth down in the holler. Don't need teeth. Don't need teeth. You don't need teeth down in the holler. You don't need teeth. No, you don't need teeth. You don't need teeth down in the holler because the meat's so soft. It don't holler. You don't need teeth down in the holler. No, you don't need teeth. You don't need teeth.
Okay, I know what I've got to get AI sitcom making now. We're going to make that song real.
Creatures of the maroon. Father Fish love your videos. Need to give you a wrench there. And moderator. You got it. You know what's funny?
What?
What's interesting? I think the reason, actually, I've had a lot of people ask me why I do this, why I give everybody a wrench. I've never told the truth. I've been lying about it ever since. No.
Okay, what's the real reason?
I say things like, well, we want everybody to be equal. Everybody gets to be a member of the party. All this la-la stuff. That ain't that. I remember way back when there were one or two people who were moderators for all the live streams. They were the go-to mods. And if you got them, you were golden. Except they ran things the way they wanted to run things. And at one point, I irritated the hell out of them by saying something that both of them didn't like a whole lot. And they both left. Boom, gone. I made some crack about woke or something with what it was. I think this is pre-woke, but same idea.
Yeah.
So I just said right then and there, you know what? Ain't nobody gonna ever say to me, can I be your moderator? Because I'm gonna make everybody moderator. Everybody gets to moderate everybody. Everybody's got as much authority as everybody else does, except me.
Mm-hmm.
I got all of the authority.
Mm-hmm.
You got part of the authority. You all share that. Just do what you want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just it keeps the playing field level. So some people have said, well, don't you get in trouble? Man, you can't cross the line here. Because somebody will be on your butt before you put the period together.
Right.
It don't hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing holds up.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually works out real well. Meat. The Reds are too much power for me. That's all right. Try abusing it. See what happens.
Yeah, Bill Myers has a really interesting comment. I have 21 tanks as of today. Just picked up one. I'm guessing it's a 40-gallon breeder. Still in the car for nothing. I have $40 in just tanks. So
Nice.
he's managed to get 21 tanks for $40. Now that's budgeting.
Pick them up off the curb.
Oh yeah.
You bet. Limburger. It's something stronger than Limburger. But that may have been what I was thinking. Yeah, Limburger is pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah,
I
I've
like
never tried that. I've tried blue cheese. That's the most stinkiest cheese I've tried so far was blue cheese.
Oh, I like blue cheese. Bill Myers said interesting. He said, I like the ranch because you can see everyone's channel and you can have additional information. That's right. I never really realized that. But it does give you the some added benefits. Well, bio folks just committed a major faux pas. He got here at 6:15, and that was more than 10 minutes ago, and didn't say hi to everyone. Well, it's a little late now. 10 minutes later, he's saying hello. After you've been brought in, took your hat and coat, sat you down at the table, you've been sitting there eating for 5 minutes, and you're just getting around to say, oh, hi, everyone. Brenda's here.
Hey, Brenda.
Thought I heard somebody. Brenda's in the other room. She doesn't make herself known to be except here when she comes in. And she always gets in about 6:30 or so. Because she works at a craft store on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
It's a candle, kind of a glorified candle shop. It's really a candle crystal Reiki hippy dippy shop as well. And she loves it. And that's fun. Mike is here. Hi, Mike. So we can time each other out. Yeah, you can play that game. It gets old. You get timed out and you don't like it much. So So, you learn the hard way. Hey, bio folks. Mike is here. She walked right by me when she took Bella. I didn't see her.
I didn't either.
I did not. And I got my eye right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. I miss most anything anymore. Resident alien. Have you heard of the creation scientist, Dr. Kent Hovind? No, I have not.
I haven't either.
That's interesting. I've read some creation science stuff. What's interesting is that 20 years ago, creation science was considered not only not credible, but really not scientific. It was considered a construct created by fundamentalist Christians and other Bible scholars. Anymore, what passes for science is really creationism. I mean, it's a curious thing. What string theory kind of took hold of scientific theory for about 25 years, and they totally ran it into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they invested so much time and energy into string theory because they did not want to move forward with what was obvious. And what was obvious was the consequences of the Big Bang.
Mm-hmm.
Because the consequences of the Big Bang are very simple. If you're going to posit a Big Bang, then there has to be a Big Banger. There has to be some entity
Mm-hmm.
causing the Big Bang. Otherwise, it doesn't happen spontaneously. And the only way to get at that is to have the Big Banger then must be infinite in all proportions,
Mm-hmm.
else it is simply itself Big Bang.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Immanuel Kant. It's the uncaused cause. All of our universe is caused causes. Everything that exists is an effect of a cause.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is caused, except for the initial thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is caused by that which itself is not caused.
Mm-hmm.
And that can only have one name. And we use the name God to refer to that one name because that's the nature of the uncaused cause, the nature of that which exists but is not caused, which is eternal, which always was and always will be, the fundamental structure of nature. Now, curiously, as astrophysicists and biological scientists have gone down the line with this, what they've come to understand is that the presence of this uncaused cause is known to all living creatures and probably all non-living entities
Mm-hmm.
very directly and very personally as consciousness. Consciousness, the awareness of, whether it's the awareness of self or the awareness of other, the the experience of awareness is absolutely universal. And not just universal, but infinitely universal. So it is, awareness is the presence of God among us.
Now that's really interesting. I never thought of it that way.
We
That's
know we know God simply by knowing.
Mhm.
The very act of knowing is to be in harmony, in in the presence, and the awareness of God. So here's the thing. We are not asked by God to be godly that we may be joined with Him in some other aspect of His universe. We are asked by Him to be godly that He may come and dwell with us. The kingdom of God is here and now. And it is among us, it is in us, it is with us, and we need but acknowledge it. And how do we do that? With a little square box that we put dirt and sand and water in and fill with fish and plants and microfauna and sit back and watch creation create. Watch nature naturate. Watch existence perpetuate itself before our eyes. It is the presence of the miracle of existence. That is the fascination, that is the joy, that is the celebration of this hobby. And frankly, it's nothing else. It's nothing else. The hobbyist who has 6 big fish in a beer tank is experiencing the same thing as those of us who do a million different varieties of microfauna, fish, plants, dirt, water, the whole schlemiel in our 10-gallon fish tank. It's all the same thing. And it's all based on that same keen desire, keen sense of something magnificent, something that exists outside ourselves yet is part of our reality that we can observe, that we can participate in, that we can take joy in, that we can sit before and be worshipful.
Absolutely.
I don't get to preach much anymore. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, I love it. You need to preach more. I always get something out of when you preach. Every sermon I've heard, I always get something out of it.
Well, thank you. Uh, what else is going on here? Mike has a question. Question. Ask your question, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Big folks is going to come up later. What are your recommendations for heater brands? Oh God, I like the Higer. If you're going to spend the money on a good heater, I don't think you can do better than the Higer ceramics. I don't like glass heaters.
Mm-mm.
They
Me
break,
neither.
they leak,
Mm-hmm.
they corrode. There's always a problem with them.
Mm-hmm.
Even the best there are by no means perfect. The Hiker I found. Now, here's the thing about the Hiker. If it craps out on you, they'll replace it. So it's as expensive as it is, and it's not cheap. I get the 500s, and they're like $90 or something. They're really pricey, and I'm not hooked up with a wholesaler because I hate wholesalers.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I really do. I just hate them. The problem with the wholesalers, at least the big one, it used to be big ones. Now it's big one. It's owned by a syndicate, a conglomerate of virtually every manufacturing corporation in the industry. They're all under one umbrella. You know the half price sale at
Mhm.
PetSmart or Petco?
Yeah.
Yeah. The company that owns Petco also owns the tank manufacturer. They also own the wholesale company that provides all that stuff to local shops like mine. They also own Petco. So when they put those things on price, they put them in Petco. The local Petco has no decision about what they got. They are shipped a group of tanks. I told them to put them on half price sale for I think it's a month. They're selling them for less than their own wholesale price at the wholesale.
Wow. That's wild.
I cannot buy a fish tank from a wholesaler cheaper than I can get it at the half price sale at Petco.
That's insane. You would think it would be
And
cheaper,
it's all the same company doing it.
right? That's wild. And John Shane has an idea for you, Father Fish. You can do Sunday morning preaching on YouTube here.
Actually, I really
You could.
could. What I really want to do is I want to do a new channel. I haven't figured out how to do this yet. I understand I can do a group of channels all under one umbrella, all linked together as though they are one channel.
Mhm.
I think it's called a corporate channel or something. I need to find out if that's what I've got.
Yeah, I'll
So
look into it tomorrow. Yeah, definitely.
if I can do that, then I could get this thing really moving.
Oh, yeah.
Christian says God is more believable than an entire universe exploding into existence. Something can't spring from nothing. It must be created. Well, and that's exactly what modern science has come to begrudgingly come to, because the problem with the theory of evolution is that it doesn't explain beginnings. It only explains processes. And it's probably not a bad explanation for processes, because We know that's true. We know things develop and flow into other things and in some sense become other things. I mean, that's reasonable. The best studies have been done with corals. That the same genetic coral that exists in Australia looks completely different from the same genetic material, the same genetic coral, not 1,000 miles away in Indonesia. And yet the appearance of them is radically diverse. We see it in fishes that are that change as they go down the course of a river. The speed, the coloration changes, the shape changes. It's the same fish, but it has different iterations as it moves along. So we know that's true. We know that happens. What none of that explains is how any of it got here to begin with.
Right.
And science is facing up to that reality. And in fact, with the newest telescope, the Deep Space Telescope, has blown a lot of things right out of the water because it has seen further back in time than we had any reason to believe there was time. We're seeing back beyond the Big Bang, where the Big Bang was supposed to be, according to our calculations. Well, what does that mean? It means our calculations were wrong.
Right.
Somebody left out a zero or didn't put a dot in the right place. Something. Anyway.
That's really cool, though. I didn't realize they could actually see past the point of the Big Bang with it. That's cool.
Olympus likes the Big Banger. Oh dear, Bill. Yeah, that happens. You can get this little fish. See, just look at these. He's half an inch long. I mean, how big can it get? He's a little tiny fish. You can put him in your tank. Not a problem. He'll be fine in your tank. You just take him out of him. You'll be happy with him. He'll be perfect. So you take him out and you put him in your tank. And it's doing fine. Wow. I was right. It's gorgeous. Look at this. Hey, Matilda, look at this fish. That's really a pretty fish. And look, it ain't big. It ain't doing nothing. It's happy and getting along. And then a week goes by and you're feeding it every day. Boy, it sure is growing. Look at him. He's bigger than the other ones now. Look at that. Look how much he's growing. Wow. That's a healthy fish, he is. Healthy fish. Then a week or two later, Matilda, there's something wrong with all these fish here. Look at that. They ain't growing. Look at this. It's grown. He's okay. These other, they ain't growing. There's something wrong with you. I got to do something about this. I don't know what to do with you. How do we get them? A month later. Oh, no. Matilda, look at him. He's got a tail sticking out of his mouth there.
Right.
Look at that. He ate that little fish there. Look at he ate him. Must have been dead. I mean, how could he eat him? They weren't dead. Oh no. Oh no. Matilda, he just chased that little fish in the water and he grabbed it, snatched it, swallowed it. He swallowed it. He swallowed it, holding it. It's gone. It's down his throat. He swallowed it whole. Matilda, we got a killer fish, Matilda. By this time, the fish is 6 inches long. Everything else is 1 inch, and it's just being gobbled up.
Oh yeah.
So he takes them on back. This is 2 months later. This little half inch is now 6 inches. This that fish you told me wasn't gonna get big. Oh, that ain't that fish. That fish I saw you was that big. That fish is that big. I didn't say fish. Besides, I don't take fish back. It's your fish. It's on you. I don't know. What do I do with this? I can't kill it. Day later. Huh, Matilda? What's that was really good. That was a nice dinner, Matilda. What was that you fed me, Matilda? I don't want to know. What do you mean, Matilda? What do you mean, I don't want to know? Oh, maybe I do.
I don't think he wants to know. No.
Right.
That's too funny.
Keeps asking, he has a question. He has a problem with gas.
Gas. Mike's got a problem with gas.
I'm not sure what kind of gas. I think it's by gas in his tank. He has
This is Mike Hawkins.
Mike T.
Mike T.
Yeah, he's mentioned a couple times he's got gas. He's asking what to do.
Brenda says Mike T's got a gas problem. Mike T. Where is he at?
All the way at the bottom. Yeah, he just did the
Daddy,
last
I got him. Question. He says, question, Daddy. Do. I need to know more about this. All right, Mike. You have my full attention. Lay it on me. Resident alien is trying to get us confused with numbers here. I don't even want to get into it. All right, where are we? Fish Rabadoo.
The gas. He said the gas is in the fish tank.
Gas is in the fish tank.
Yeah, I've never heard of that being a problem. Is there a way you can come up and show us, Mike T? Show us your fish tank? And
Paul was evolved from sea monkeys. I believe that's true. You ever met Paul? I believe that's true. We got a lot of different species here. You do know that, guys. You're clear. Everybody. A lot of different species here.
Mike T says the bubbles are coming up out of the substrate, and I'm wondering if it's a bad gas or is it a good gas?
Give me a timestamp. Oh, okay.
Timestamp is 6:51.
All right, I know about this. I know. I got this one. I'm missing all this good stuff. All right. So you got bubbles coming up the dirt, coming up out of the substrate. It's carbon dioxide, CO2. That's what it is. If you put the substrate together correctly, that is to say, if you put enough buffers in it to prevent it from becoming acidic. If you didn't, frankly, you would know. Because acidification would simply kill everything. It would create hydrogen sulfide, which would kill everything. But with adequate buffers, that cannot happen because it won't go acidic. It'll stay alkaline, and you'll wind up with CO2. Totally harmless, actually feeds the plant. Okay, Bio folks is here. Just freaked him out.
What's up?
I love your Paludarium.
Thank you, thank you. You see the fish? They're actually out today. I'm like, oh yeah, I might as well join since the fish are out.
Look at that, it's a swamp.
Love it.
It is.
They got a swamp there.
The glare is terrible right now.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love it too. It's beautiful.
What do you got in there?
Just the two zebra Daniels. No, it's a Asian forest scorpion in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there goes one of the fish.
Yep, yeah. You have a nose in there.
And what else? Spring peeper and two northern cricket frogs.
Oh, far out.
And I
Nice.
think that's it for now.
Nice. Have you been catching them or buying them?
I've bought in everything except for when the bugs start going in this summer.
Okay. Cool. Where do you live? Where do you live?
I'm in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
You're gonna be able to get out and catch a lot of stuff this spring.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you'll be able to get salamanders.
Right,
Frogs.
right.
Yeah, you'll be a lot of cool stuff.
I don't know
And
if there'll be a lizard on the tree. Probably not.
really nice.
Yeah.
What's wrong, girl? Your popsicle cold?
How old? You gonna
She,
put it in?
she is
Oh my goodness.
she's 11 months now.
11 months.
Mhm.
Oh, look at you.
Aw, so cute.
Look at you.
You don't want it no more. But yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Here you go.
Nice fire, folks. Thank you. I
No
love
problem.
it.
No problem. You have a good one.
Bye bye.
You
Nice.
too. And Mike Hawkins has a question. What plants do goldfish not eat? Because I know that you've got a planted pond right there at the shop. Which plants do you put in that pond with the goldfish? Because he says he wants to keep a goldfish, but he's afraid they'll eat the plant.
Here's the secret to keeping plants with fish eating plants, with plant eating fish, is they have more technique. I have in my pond about 40 koi and goldfish between 2 and 8, 10 inches. I've got a dozen large sword plants in it and a lot of little ones. They occasionally have got pulled up, but more often than not, they're left alone. What typically happens in a tank with big fish and plants is they will begin to nibble at the edges of a plant. And once they break through that surface, it's like they get down to the good stuff. It becomes more succulent. They're actually into the flesh of the plant, the innards of the plant, if you will. And so they'll all chew on that. They'll all eat that. And they'll eat that one plant down to the nub. Might take a week, might take days. But they won't work on anything else because that's the one that's got their attention. That's the one that's the tastiest and the best one to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of a week, when that's gone, you replace it.
The light's still on. Do you want me to show it?
What? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, Brenda's going to show us the pond.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So the reality is, it it's they I had the same thing happening in my African cichlid tank. I've got a lot of plants in it, and they're fine. But you'll notice if you look carefully, there'll be one plant that every fish that goes by takes a bite out of. Just one. Here we go.
Hey,
Don't talk. Don't talk. Don't talk.
Mhm.
Turn the volume off. Just show us. Do it again.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Yeah. And Drake said the theory of evolution was created to go against scripture. Actually, it was certainly used that way. Um, I'm not convinced it was designed to do that, but it certainly became that very quickly. The Scopes trial being the case in point, in which evolution and the Bible were posited against each other in a court of law. So it certainly became that. But that was a red herring because there's no conflict. What followed was some pretty good biblical scholarship, particularly viewing the first chapter of the book of Genesis, the creation story, in which the case was made, I thought convincingly, that that understanding that scripture was predicated on understanding the nature of time. And if you think about time exists as a human construct.
Yeah.
It has no other reality. Here she is. She got the volume off. So
Yep.
we're looking at the pond. Let me see if we got it.
Can we make it big screen?
No, but that's all right. Yeah, we had a lot of floaters. We cleaned all the floaters out. Now we've got some ink in that pond. The temperature in there is about 72 degrees, and I'm not going to put a heater in it. So we've got a few fish with a few spots of ink, and I've treated it initially with salt, about 1 cup per 25 to 50 gallons. So not very much. But I'm increasing the dosage every other day as I see the parasite being retained on the fish. It's 2 or 3, very few fins of a few of the goldfish. I haven't seen it anywhere else but on them. Salt is used by fish farmers to cure ick because they can't afford to feed huge 10,000 gallon vats of fish. So they use salt, and the salt the salt system works very effectively, but it has to be built up slowly and gradually. So that's what's happening in here. There are no fish showing any signs of stress. There is no fish are being overwhelmed. The parasite has not exploded to the point where anything is covered in it. And we're providing salt as a way of being able to kill the zygote, the babies when they're born. It's an animal that when it reaches a certain size, it drops to the bottom and subdivides. It's an asexual um, kind of animal, kind of parasite. It subdivides into it divides into six. The what's it? 2, 4, 8, 16, 6, 4, 120, 256. It's like that kind of division. Divides to a given point, and then they all swim up and look for a host. With the salt, they can't tolerate it. It's a cold water parasite, but it only exists in fresh water. Does not exist in brackish water. So we're creating a very low brackish level in order to be able to control it, and we should be able to kill it. So once we get it straight, then we'll do some freshwater incursions and see if we can't get the salinity down, and in the process get rid of a lot of the tannins that are in it. See if we can get it looking real clear. So that's where we're at currently with it. Show us some more tanks, Brenda.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
This is a goby tank. More of their unusual hybrids are in here. Pancheks, green neons, albino congos. You can read for yourself. And then more of the same in here. These are 10-gallon tanks. Celebes half-beaks in there. We try to have each tank with 5 or more species. Not all of them, but most of them. That's guppies. This is, come up tight on this one. This has some nice fish in it. Some tetras. It has, we found the source for female dwarf gouramis. So we
Oh, wow.
have some pairs of dwarf gouramis. There's a little frog swimming around. There are chromides in here. There are, what's a little dwarf gourami? Sunshine. And I don't know what else. There's a big school of green neons in here. This tank has dwarf cichlids mostly. Crebensis, there's some epistos, rams, there's a little shabunkin. Those are epistos. There is a one wiro, and I think a few small chocolates. There's a botilla. Don't know what kind of boutique, I think. This is sparkling gouramis, loaches, bleeding hearts, a lot of different things here. Candy tetras, sand loach, there are some loaches, bloodfin, a real mix. That's a good example of a very mixed tank. Rios, cories. We're loaded with cories right now. We've got about 10 different species of cory. You see all these are planted tanks. They're all deep substrate. Every one of these tanks you're looking at are 10-gallon tanks, with the exception of the big one, and that was a 40. We even have glow tetras. Gotta have glow tetras. You got a fish store, you gotta glow tetras. Otherwise, children will hate you.
Right?
They're angels. There were angels in here. I don't know what's in here now. We kept angels in here. I think we just started repopulating this tank. There's a biker in the back. Another good, that's a Simunkin, I think. And then the big tanks. This is a South American mostly. South American tank, but it has a few Ostronemus, which is the giant gourami. They're about 6 inches. Most of these guys are 2 to 3 inches. Electric blue carrots, 3 to 4 inches maybe. Nice tank.
Yeah, it is. I'll be right back.
These are Africans, assorted Africans. There's not much else. There are a few really nice oddballs in here, but it's mostly assorted Africans. And this is primarily rainbows, a lot of a lot of Cory cats, some big Ostronemus, some gouramis. Mostly it's rainbows. So it's really kind of a peaceful tank. Not much aggression in there. And then this is probably my all-time favorite tank. It has plant-eating fish. These are some of the ultimate plant eaters. There are other plant eaters I will not keep. These I keep. These are Uaru Amphicthartes. They're a South American cichlid. They're from the same water as the discus, and they're very, very similar to discus. They're redhead tapajos. Somebody brought in about 40 redhead tapajos. So that's what they are. This is mostly Danios in this tank, about 5 or 6 different species of Danio. All different kinds of Danio. Platies. A few things mixed in with the platies. I don't remember what, frankly. But there's the list there. This is an interesting tank. It's got a pair of shell dwellers and a Tanganyika shell dwellers, along with some platies. Talk about mixed bag. I don't remember. Oh, this is sword, mostly swords in this tank. About 3 or 4 different species of sword, the live bearer. And then down here is a colony of convicts. These are the blue, whatever they're called, the pretty one, that were born here about 2 months ago. There's an arowana swimming around back there.
That is cool.
I don't know if he's getting enough to eat. We need to make sure. We'll probably need to pull him out and put him where we put him in there when those guys were small enough for him to eat. This is a geophagus tank primarily, but look right in the middle of this. You'll see those are hyphen swords. We've got a nice group of hyphen swords. They're big. They're about 3 inches, very colorful, and really a very, very pretty fish. About 5 or 6 different species of geophagus in here. Nice tank. That is one plant. That big bunch right there.
That's what I was just fisting to ask.
One single plant. This tank has a lot of oddballs in it. A lot of rice fish. There are 2 or 3 species of rice fish in here, as well as some other nano fish. Mostly nanos. That's another platy tank. And I think there's something else in there, but I can't remember what it is we just put in that tank. Oh, yes, right there. The headstander pencil fish.
Oh, that's cool.
See them? Yeah, they're pretty neat. And then coming down, platies and who's the ones? What are they called? My brain. Congos, not Congos. This tank has some real exotics in it. Some of the exotic ceramics. It's a real mixed bag. There are endotetras in here, as well as some of the licorice ceramics. And this is Africans. There's some little tiny ones, smallish African cichlids that need to move up. We're just not quite ready to move them. So this tank is almost sitting on the floor. So it makes it difficult to sell our work because people can't see into it very well. It's a children's tank. We need kitty fish in it.
Oh,
And
that's a good idea.
we've got a couple of piranha in here. Can't
Ooh,
have piranha in Florida, but we can have piranha here. So
you guys are lucky.
there's some piranha, a couple of piranha in there. And then coming in here, this is our dragon tank. We've got dragons and pikers and eels and other just oddball monster type fish in here.
Oh, that guy's cool.
Ornate piker. And that's a knife fish. It's the some kind of funny what is it called? Clown. It's not a clown knife. I don't remember. You're not gonna. She's not gonna show us the actual models. This is a 40-gallon cube with mostly tetras and barbs in it. And then this is a 75 with oddball cichlids primarily. It's got a large pair of chocolate cichlids. Those are what are they called? Starry nights.
Those are beautiful.
Some Madagascar fish. Some ruby tetras. Ruby barbs, I mean, as opposed to rosy barbs. This tank is another 75. It's got more peaceful fish in it. Kissing gouramis, other gouramis, a lot of rainbows, some discus, angels, more serene fish, keyhole cichlids, that kind of stuff. Nice rainbows. Great color in this tank. The rainbows really, really perk up. And then this is the monster tank. So mostly Tanganyika, the Malawi cichlids, and some oddball Plecostomus, plus some Central Americans like that. Will come. There's the. Is that the? Yeah, that's the Adonis, right? We have two big Adonis in here. A few Tanganyikas.
Those are some gorgeous fish.
Some Central Americans that are getting a little too big for this tank. We're gonna have to. We got to set up some new tanks. Some of these guys get a foot long, and that's just going to be too big for the Africans. Neat tank. You see all the plants in there. It's a perfect example of what I was talking about. These are fish nobody ever keeps plants with, but they actually do extremely well, providing the plants have a good nutrient foundation, and there are enough of them that everybody's not attacking the only plant in the tank. And then this
Oh, this one's my favorite.
this is the Amazon floodplain tank that demonstrates what the Amazon looks like in the rainy season with just that level of tannin in it. We have discus in there, angels, Congo tetras, a lot of cleanup crew kind of stuff, a lot of different fish in it. It's a 60 gallon, there probably are 50 fish in there. And a lot of them are bigger fish. And then I don't know if you can see the Abba Abba. He's a little hard to find. There he is. There he is. Look, he's moving around. Oh, wonderful. He's showing off. How cool is that? That's about a 1 foot Abba Abba. Gymnarchus niloticus, the Nile River fish. Can't keep him with anything, but he's a magnificent fish. I'm just very, very happy to have him. He's in a 65-gallon tank, I think. There he is.
He looks like a living ribbon.
He does, yeah. His dorsal fin goes from his head to the tip of his tail, the entire length of his body, and he uses it like a ribbon. It looks like a ribbon. He can swim as fast backwards as he can forward.
Oh no, that's an
Thank you, Brendan. Ah, very nice.
yeah. Thanks, Brenda.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that was fun. I hadn't been able to do that before.
Mhm.
Now, that's about half of what we have. The other thing we'll show you another time is all of our plant vats and breeding vats and all of that stuff.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, by the way, Brenda, I got into a couple of the vats more deeply today, and they are loaded with macrofauna. Just loaded. I didn't see any Daphnia, but I saw a lot of what's the little fighting shrimp called?
Hmm.
What's
The
that?
scuds are you talking about the scuds?
Say it.
Scuds are neocardian shrimp.
Scud, right. Scuds. It's full of scuds. Several of them are full of scuds.
Oh, that's
There
good.
are other things in there as
Mhm.
well. So we're getting a pretty good culture of stuff up, which is going to allow us to build food webs and
Mhm.
all of our tanks. I'm very anxious to do that. We haven't really started to build the food webs in all of these tanks you were just looking at. A few of them have a little bit. None of them have very much. But our vats have been growing culture now for a number of months, and they're kind of getting to the point where we've got enough going on to be able to begin transposing it into those tanks to really build that up. That's going to be especially important for the smaller fish and for the more difficult fish like the gobies that really require live food. So what I'm anticipating is we're reaching the point where we're going to begin to be able to move into specialized foods because we do have fish that have special dietary needs, and many of them are live food needs. So being able to provide that is important, but not easy to do. Well, I think we have enough of an operation going with enough diversity in it to be able to begin to focus on. So that's the plan. What else is going on here?
Well, Meat's curious. How much is the ribbon fish? I think he wants the aba aba. Or
Yeah, he's $500.
Jason Rideout asked, "FF, have you ever considered selling resurrection jar starter kit.
You know, I did for a long time. And then I stopped doing it when Philip's Fish House got started because I wanted to support him. And he was frankly doing a better job. Um, what he's doing now is cultured um, material. He's not selling wild material. And that's what I was doing. I was selling wild culture. It's kind of a crapshoot because you don't always get anything. And sometimes it was wonderful. More often than not, it was. But there were times when you'd get just nothing. You know, all microscopic, no macroculture at all. And so it was not very interesting. So I just felt at the time that he could do a better job. I've got a couple of vats with a fair amount of leaf culture in it that's been molting for a number of months now. We've started taking it out and putting it in jars to see what we have. What I might do is transpose scuds and some other bugs into those and see how they do. If we can get that going, then I may start providing live wild culture again. I kind of would like to do it. There has been a fair amount of interest in it. Darbar is here, and he's
Hey.
outside. What are you doing?
What you got?
He's got a tank.
Oh,
Oh, it's metal. It's a metaframe. Look at that. What size?
a metal frame.
I don't know. I think it's probably
How
like
wide is it?
15.
It's like 2 foot.
Yeah, it's like 15.
15 or 20.
Yeah. Oh, really? You think it's that?
Oh, it's wonderful.
And I'm wondering, it looks like it's like textured glass on the inside. And it looks like it's double walled.
Yeah, that's a more recent version. The older ones use slate. Then they went while they were still doing aluminum framing. They finally went to tempered glass. That's
I wonder if this was slate and somebody fixed it because it's got like.
It's possible. It's possible that you know what, that was they replaced.
Yeah.
That's not original.
And it's got like dirt and stuff in here, so I'm wondering if somebody just had it being
I
used
think
as like
it's been
that.
reworked. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not original. It's a nice
Okay.
job though.
Yeah, I
It's
think they were using it.
Yeah, it's stippled glass. It's not tempered. It's strong,
Yeah,
but
so
it's not tempered. It's not very tall. I would trust it.
you would.
I would not put it in my living room, but I would trust it to hold
Yeah, 'cause it
water.
looks like it has
I
weight
like
there.
it. Yeah, it's a great tank. The metal all looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like somebody was using it for like some sort of
Yeah.
rodent or
Clean,
something.
actually. Yeah, nice. Those are such great tanks. I had a large collection of them that I had to leave behind. I kept a few small ones that are kind of
Well,
beat up.
this is a thrift
That
store.
one's straight ball. That's just a paint. You can
Yeah.
scrape that off with a razor blade.
Yeah. I was curious
Nice.
about the bottom because it doesn't look like it's fishy, but
I wouldn't worry about it. Put water in it where it sits and see how it does.
Mm-hmm.
it'll freeze. Yeah.
Just fill it up and let's see if it holds water. It's a fish room tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, nice. What'd you pay for it?
$18.
Wow, that ain't bad.
Hard to beat.
Wow.
Hard to beat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep you updated.
I like it.
Yeah,
15. I think it's a 15. Might be a 10. Looks like a 15.
Yeah, I'll have to put it next to a 10 and see how it compares.
Neat. Good catch.
Yeah. All right. Have a great night.
Thanks, Darwin.
That is really neat. I've never seen a metal fish tank for sale. He got lucky.
Oh, wow. Well, that's all there were
Mhm.
for years. That's all the original tanks were metal frame. They were initially steel. And then they finally developed aluminum,
Mhm.
extruded aluminum. Well, that was back in the 40s and 50s. That was after the war, I think. I don't think there were any metal frame or aluminum frame before the war. They were all steel frame. Oh,
Irishman wants to know, Father Fish, how long have you been in business?
about 30 years. I've had other kind, fish business about 30 years, since about 1995. And been in every aspect of it. For a long time, I worked at a couple of farms, fish farms. That was fun.
But that was.
Then I repped for farms and repped for wholesalers. So I would be on the phone all day talking to shops, trying to get them to buy fish. Did that for a while. And then I started selling fish on Aquabid and did pretty well. I actually made a living doing that. I supported myself doing that. And then I went into a shop. I got a shop, got that going, did that for almost 20 years. And then came back to Maryland and started selling plants online. And this shop is kind of an expansion, an extension of that. So it's kind of all of the piece, really. We have an article coming out in magazine in May, I believe, that will have the story in some detail. So that'll be kind of nice. Do those bubbles do the same thing as people that use CO2 injection? No. Well, the CO2 injection is a very, very fine stream of bubbles that dissolve in the water. The bubbles coming up out of the dirt are big bubbles that are just kind of blowing through. They'll release a little bit, but it won't be much. But the thing to understand is that they're coming from the substrate where they're being created. So the substrate is manufacturing CO2, and it's doing it in vastly larger quantities than any kind of synthetic device possibly could. And more importantly, it's delivering the CO2 at the root of the plants. So the plants are able to take it up right at the root, which means you don't have that CO2 in the water column. What is there is being absorbed by the plants from the fish. The fish's CO2 and the waste producing CO2 is being absorbed by the plants. So the plants are kind of getting double dose. They're getting it from the root, and they're keeping the water column pretty pure. It's one of the reasons for having substantial quantities of plant in the water in order to be able to filter that water continuously, because the water is being essentially drawn into the plant and filtered by the plant. So if you have a large quantity of plants, you're going to have very, very pure water. Which is why a heavily planted tank. The water in a heavily planted tank, in a swamp tank to be specific, is far more pure than the water in a chemically treated tank,
Oh,
which is
absolutely.
which is not pure at all. It's laden with chemicals. Little Giant, Doompies talk about Little Giant. Long gone. The Little Giant air pump. It one of the things, it was called Silent Giant because it was a canister kind of device that had a little vibrator pump in it that produced air on a diaphragm, and the whole thing was surrounded with sand, and the sand is what made it silent. So it was kind of gimmicky. It was nothing real fancy. It was the same thing. They just they just packed it in sand and sealed it with this oval kind of container and called it a Silent Giant. Very, very gimmicky.
Yeah. Cowgirl at Heart has a question for you.
Yeah.
She purchased some white Anubias and they melted on her, and she's worried that they might not come back. So she's wondering if they melt in your tank, will they come back?
Yeah, you plant the roots.
Hmm.
Just plant the roots. If the roots are white and healthy, then it will continue to grow. But it spends all of its energy initially growing the root system. So it may be months before it sends up a shoot. But when it does, it's going to be very sturdy. Um, so just plant the root and forget about it. It'll if it's alive, which it likely is, it'll eventually start growing, and it'll be a very healthy, strong plant. Discus are almost completely sold out. I don't think I've got more than 2 or 3 left. We got 20 or so, and they're pretty well gone. So we need to get over and get some. We're going to try to do that this week. See if we can
That'd be good.
get out and get some more discus this week. Do I do deep substrate in the pond? I do not do dirt in the pond. And I don't do dirt in any ponds. The reason I don't is because there is no need to. Because a pond creates dirt. It creates huge volumes of dirt. Particularly outdoor ponds. An indoor pond certainly different. It's not going to have wind blowing over it, blowing leaves into it, and all this stuff. But you'd be amazed how much this pond catches, because everything that comes out of any of the tanks gets tossed in the pond.
There
We
you go.
we spent much of Friday cleaning it out. We were trying to catch a couple of fish that were hard to catch. We had some rope fish in there, and we finally got them out. But in the process, we got all the floaters out, all the plants, just kind of tore the thing down, and then replanted it, and did not put the floaters back. And it looks a lot nicer. You can see the fish, and it's just better.
That's looking great.
I do not put dirt in because in an outdoor pond, there's absolutely no need to. You put 4 to 6 inches of sand in the bottom, a deep sand layer, and then just let it go. Normally, ponds have to be cleaned out because they get full of leaves. But by doing it that way, you don't clean it out because all of that material percolates down into the sand, and it's contained there and creates a nutritional foundation. Good question.
Mhm. Olympus has a question. FF, can a single discus be added to a 40 breeder community tank?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Discus don't need to be groups. They can be single fish. Um, I think with any fish, they tend to do better in small groups or large groups, but they tend to do better with other members of their species. That's not 100% of the case, and it's not requisite. There are certainly many fish that are grown up as single species fish with or without other fish. So it's fish, it seemed to me, really don't have the kind of emotional life that animals do. They're a very unique species of animal that are more dissimilar than similar to mammals, for example, which would be the normal kind of comparison we would make. They're more closely related to reptiles, frogs, snakes, lizards, turtles. They're in that classification of animal as opposed to mice and hamsters and rabbits and dogs and cats and people. They're much less like that than they are like the former. So they function in a different way. They're more a predator prey kind of animal. They're much more predator prey oriented, particularly fish. Fish, fish exist as prey or as predator. When they're young, they're all prey. Even if they're predating, they're still prey. And it takes a fish becoming quite old and large to stop being prey. Um, and there are some, and they behave accordingly. By and large, fish are they exist to avoid being eaten
Mhm.
until they're eaten, and then they cease to avoid it. But it's the nature of fish to be eaten by other fish.
Mhm.
I mean, that is the nature of the fish. And if you look at the populations that are born to species, particularly the species that are most heavily um, uh, eaten by other fish, their numbers are astounding. If they were not eaten, they would crash the population of fish in the sea because there would be in numbers too vast to be able to allow anything else to exist.
Mhm.
So they depend on predation for their very survival. If they are not eaten in substantial number, then they will disappear because they will crash the system and themselves in the process. So think about that. Think about living as an animal that needs to be consumed by other animals for its survival. We have nothing comparable to that in our experience.
Mhm.
It's not something that we can even really consider. And to imagine it would be to imagine something so horrible that it becomes deeply, profoundly frightening. That's the nature of fish. Now, if you transpose that emotional package onto the fish, you've got a highly neurotic animal. I don't believe fish are neurotic. I don't believe they live in fear. I think I think they deal with the shadows in life by avoiding them or hiding in them. Um, and they're on the prowl for food all the time and are alert to their environment. Notice what happens when you put a very small fish in a very big tank. It will do one or two things. It will either hover in a corner or it will dart around, dashing and darting, looking for a secure place to hide. Small fish need to hide. Putting a tiny fish in a big tank is not doing it any kind of service. It's not being kind at all. It's really a form of cruelty. So, the very people who want to put vets in 20-gallon tanks are practicing animal cruelty. They honestly are, unwittingly, out of the goodness of their hearts, because they think it's freeing the animal somehow. But that animal isn't desirous of large open spaces. It hates large open spaces. It prefers tiny little quiet spaces that are very sheltered, where it can be secure.
Makes
So,
sense.
Charles Fitzgerald. Hey, Charles.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I wanted to show Dina that the turtles, they're here.
Oh, cool.
You see them?
They're
Oh,
so
my.
adorable.
Oh my. Is that cool?
So this one's the razorback
Yeah.
Oh, he's
musk turtle.
adorable.
Here's the three-striped mud turtle.
Oh, how nice.
They are just adorable.
That's a razorback mud.
Musk, razorback musk over here.
Think of
Three-striped mud turtle right here.
Nice.
They are.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a razorback musk. That's pretty cool. Did
Yeah, I've
you
got
catch
to look
it?
into them.
You
What was it? What?
You catch it or buy it?
I bought it on myturtles.com, both of them.
Very good.
So
Nice.
like,
Actually, that's where I got mine too.
yeah. So this one here, I asked for a male. I know it's a male, so it only gets about 3 or 4 inches. This one I'm not too sure yet. It could be a male, but the females get bigger. So hopefully it's a male that stays 3 or 4 inches as well. But
Nice.
Hopefully.
Super animals. Musk turtles are great.
so Father Fish, you said you got rid of your turtles, huh?
Yes.
I heard.
Well, I gave them to a turtle guy, local,
Okay.
who has a large collection of turtles.
What kind of turtles were those though?
They were mud turtles.
They were mud turtles like this one.
Yeah. But
'Cause
they,
it looks-
they were different species. They were from actually they were caught in Delaware.
And there's my ram cichlid right there that I didn't tell you about.
Oh, look at him. Little
Pretty one.
it's a little girl.
Is it a girl? Is it a female?
Yes, it is.
It is. I wanted a male because the males are more colorful.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, the female is too. You see her red belly.
Yeah, but if she goes in the light, she has blue speckles just like the male does, I guess.
Well, no, it's different. The blue speckles on the female are inside the black dot.
Okay.
In the males, they surround it.
Right. Okay. All right.
Cool.
In male,
That's
he's got more blue on him.
Can I show you a couple more tanks again?
Sure.
Okay. You already saw this one. Yeah, the last time,
Right.
right?
Nice.
And you notice it is a little cloudy hue to it. Because I haven't really done much to it except for put the plants in there. Because the stem plants, they melted back, so I put rooted plants in there now.
Yeah.
So, but it's been running for this may will be a year. So
Nice. No, it looks great.
and she's got tons of babies in here. Her guppies had tons of babies. They even right there. I think she had another batch because I see smaller ones now too. So.
Lyre
I
tail.
love that bowl.
Pretty.
Yeah, you see that one right there? That's actually an anglerfish.
Oh, cool.
That one right there's an anglerfish. That's a guppy. That's the male guppy.
Yeah.
That's a rasbora, a green neon rasbora right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one has the soil mixture, the proper with the Father Fish supplement, and it has Congo sand on top to cap it.
I like it. Great bowl.
Isn't it? All right. I want to show you hopefully the Savini cichlid out so you can see with that, because last time he wasn't out. Let's see if he comes out when we sit here. He was just out. Oh, there he is. You like Savini cichlids?
Oh, wow.
Father Fish, do you like Savini cichlids? I know you like cichlids like I do.
Yeah, you bet. I don't see him. Where?
He's right there. See him in the back?
Barely.
Maybe he'll come out.
Yeah, hopefully he'll come out.
He's gotten bigger. He's got more color to him because I know they turn like yellow and orange as they get bigger.
Right.
He'll come out on the corner. I think he'll come out.
Hopefully.
They're very timid, and that guy right there is a featherfin catfish. I think he's full grown already, I believe.
Right.
He is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
He eats too much though. That's the problem.
Right.
Oh, here he is. Can you see him now?
Oh, the glare's covering him.
Show him from the side. Can you
Yeah.
get the camera around to the other side?
Like that?
No, the side of the tank.
Oh. Well, the other side, I don't usually clean it because I have
Oh, he darted away.
yeah, so I scared him.
Yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like dwarf cichlids.
I do too. I like the ram cichlids, I like the pistogrammas, and I like the crevenza cichlids.
We just
As
got
well.
3 species of apistos in, so really excited
Nice.
about that. Yeah.
Which ones, the McMasterized or a different breed?
McMaster, I was one.
Yeah.
Triple Red was another.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the other one was.
The cockatoides is pretty as well.
Cockatoides, yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
All right, here he is. Hold on, here he's coming out.
Oh, awesome.
Can you guys see him?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's not full grown yet. He gets about 8 inches or so.
Oh,
But-
I can't wait
but you
to see him when
see-
he gets grown.
What is that?
What is what?
What kind of fish is that?
Oh, that's the Savini cichlid I was telling you about.
Salvini. Okay. Gotcha.
It's still juvenile, so he gets about 8 inches.
Yeah, I ordered some Salvini. They got scratched.
Mm.
Oh, they died?
No, they just didn't ship.
Oh, they didn't ship. Okay. I've been looking for them a long time, and finally I found a Pecco shop who had them, and I grabbed them. So I don't see them very often in pet stores for some reason.
Right. It's not a common fish for shops. No. I will have them. It's one of those fish I want to be able to have routinely.
Yeah. The only thing is that if you have a male and female and they lay eggs, they'll get really aggressive, just like the jewel cichlid does.
Oh, that's right. That's the nature of a cichlid.
Yes. I thought I had 2 male jewel cichlids back in the day in this tank, and it was a male and female, and she laid eggs. I had a couple fry. They died. I had like 4 times, and I had other fish in here that they never bothered until that time, and they were just killing the other fish. I took them out, put in my 20 gallon back then.
Right.
And then for whatever reason, later on, he killed the female. I don't know why.
Oh, no.
So
she was ready, and he was.
What was that?
She was not ready, and he was.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But so like Most of the fry at the third time they all died, and the fourth time I got 6 of them. And I tried to sell them, but no one wanted them, so I just gave them to Petco because I just want something different.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess they're not that popular. I don't know.
Well, you already described the issue with them. They get a little big. They get aggressive. They're pretty easy to spawn. It's kind of the saga of the Central American cichlid. They all kind of fall in the same category. They're either big ones or they're medium. There are smaller ones, but they all have basically the same kind of behavior pattern.
Yeah.
You know, they wind up.
Yeah, but I know when you do it. Well, Father Fish, I know when you guys do it, you separate them. You put them in a separate tank because of that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we raise the fry in that tank. And I try to sell
I got a question. So you right, exactly. I got a question. So you said that I talked to some people before you. Are you talking about Tommy Denda? His name's Tommy Denda, I think. Is that what you were talking about this past Wednesday?
I guess.
About the book?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because he wanted me to flip through it. It's Tommy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because
he's one of
because he's in the book, right? He's one of the contributors to the book.
Yes, that's right.
Where is he from?
Denmark.
Oh, Denmark, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a far place away.
Right. Yeah. Well, one of the authors is in Denmark. Another one is in Scotland. A third one is in York, England. 3, and then there's one in California.
Okay.
Where's the 5th one? The 5th one is in Holland, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think she's in Holland.
Is that her name's Tila or something? In the book?
Tisha, yeah.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Tisha.
Yeah. She's a big aquascaper, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool guys.
Yeah, they are. Remarkable people.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice to see your tank.
Mm-hmm.
When you plan on publishing the book, you think? You saying in the next year or two? You were saying?
Well, it's available as an ebook.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
We're working on it now. We're talking to, looking at some options. I think I have settled on a publisher. The rest of the guys are not on board with me yet, but I think they will be. We got a good deal with them, so we'll probably have something out. I think by spring. But frankly, we're not going to sell as many or make as much money as we will in the ebook. And we're planning to
correct
the concept of the ebook to turn it into a search engine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's cool.
So it's going to be something that'll be of lasting value and be able to be used more expansively.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be good because it would be good because I would like to see some of those chain pet stores kind of resemble that, like do some of that stuff.
Yeah,
because they don't do that.
I think they will. I think they're, it's going to go one way or the other. They're going to either get rid of their fish and go straight out dry goods, which is frankly what they ought to do. They ought to just get out of fish altogether because they do not handle it well. They handle it poorly universally. The problem is they built a chain a supply chain that caters to that market.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes all
Yep.
the way back to the farmers in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to overcome.
So they kind of forgot the true essence of keeping fish, really, because I see a lot of times you go in there, especially around this time of the year, they have ick a lot.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
So
I'm fighting it here every day.
Yeah.
It's
I've been fighting it too.
yeah, I got you. Because of the cold weather, right? That's probably one of the main reasons.
Yeah, because it's a cold water animal.
Mm-hmm.
So it loves cold weather.
Yeah. Okay.
That it does.
Okay, guys.
I think the reality is that as we're able to continue to push the natural system, it will eventually begin to make serious inroads into the industry. And I think what we'll begin seeing is a return of the mom and pop store, providing more plants, more fish, more nano tanks, more of the kind of thing, more dirt and deep substrate, frankly, more natural system.
Yeah, because Wallstead started that first, and then you kind of changed some things to make it better. The guy named Dustin, he still doesn't do it exactly the way you do it. He does it still with gravel.
I know.
Dustin Fish Tanks, you know what I'm talking about?
I spent hours on the phone with him going through all of that.
Oh, really?
He gets it. He understands it, but he doesn't want to try it. He's like everybody else. He's stuck in what he's doing. He's
right.
He's married to his system.
Right.
Right.
And
yeah. So he
and he's highly effective. He does things.
Yeah.
He does things with plants I can't do.
He has great plants, though. I got to give him that.
They are amazing plants.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else has plants like he does. Nobody. It's just remarkable. But I cannot buy his plants and resell them. They won't hold up for me. Because that'll happen.
Really?
Yeah, you need an outdoor system to make it work, and I don't have that.
Right. He has. He has his in the greenhouses. Big greenhouses.
Got a lot of outdoor ponds.
Yeah.
And it's in Kentucky, which normally is pretty mild, but it's been rough this winter. And I'm sure he's taken a hit on a lot of his ponds. But
I'm sure.
In a big greenhouse.
Okay, guys.
Have a nice night.
You guys too. Thanks.
Bye,
Father Fish. Bye, Dina.
Bye. Oh, you've got to see this comment, Father Fish. I'm gonna see if I can put it on screen.
If you can find a better fish pond, let me know. Let me know. Right. So Dana Cott. Thank you, Dana, for your $20 gift. That's very kind of you. Thank you, my dear. Whoop-de-doo. I think we're there. We missed
I think so too.
It's a lot of stuff. What do we got? What time is it?
It's 8:02.
We're done.
Yep.
I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.
Night, everybody.
Good night, all.
As they swim about their home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I have traveled the world.
Good night, all.
Good
night, everybody.
They get you to back up here.
Comes from watching my fishies as they swim about their home.
Hope everybody has a good night.
Happy and I am content.
And we'll catch you on Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time. What'd you say, Father Fish? I couldn't hear you.
Wednesday at 6.
Yep. Wednesday at 6.
Begin to glow. I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.
Night, y'all. Love y'all. Have a good night. We'll see you on Wednesday.